Let's get ready to rumble!
Zinger Nation, jam-packed show today. Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We have Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today. Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies. Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna. The best trade idea resource out there. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up, Zinger Nation? Happy Tuesday. That's right. It's already Tuesday. We are clipping through the week. We are on pretty much 5 straight losing days. Ouch. We haven't had that in a minute. Oh, I don't have my soundboard yet because we're going to do calls. But all right, guys, we're trying something a little bit new today in that rather than one big, long, continuous stream, we are breaking up all the shows into individual tidbits. If you guys like this, let us know. If you don't like it, also let us know. Probably more importantly, let us know. So after me today, we're going to be running for 2 hours on this link here, but we will be dropping you guys the link so that way we can talk some crypto. We can talk some biotech. We've got a ton in store today, and we'll be dropping the link. So don't worry. You won't miss any content. We'll have plenty of links, plenty of trade ideas, etc. flow in. And all right, everyone, I am going to start today off the way that I start every single day with it, which is with the point of the show. We are spending this time together on this Power Hour to get trade ideas flowing. That's why we do it. We want this to be the best trade idea resource out there. If we are not delivering on that, let us know. Drop it in the chat. Call us out. And most importantly, contribute to the community. These ideas are not just going to come from me. They're not just going to come from Jason. But most importantly, they are going to come out of Zinger Nation. So that's the deal, guys. That's what we're doing. That's why we're hanging out. Go ahead. Hit the like on the stream. Share the stream. Again, we're trying something different where we're breaking the show up. It gives us a little bit slower of a start to get users on there. But you can help. You can share this. You can tweet it out. You can like it on Facebook. All that sort of thing. Jam-packed day today, as always. So up front, I've got let's talk airlines. Let's do that. We'll do airlines first. Then we'll do some Zinger Nation user calls. 12:15. JJ Kinahan, TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. He's going to be joining us. He's always got some nice poignant thoughts about the market. So we'll be getting some of his insights. Here's sort of what's floating around TD Ameritrade world. At 12:30, the CEO of Vislink, ticker VISL. If you guys are in that stock, if you're in Vislink, drop the one in the chat. I'm own the stock. So I'm very much so looking forward to that conversation. Our boy Hugh Henney is going to be joining us. He's sort of the expert on that stock. So he's going to have some great questions to ask, but that's what we're doing at 12:30. At 1:15, Vivo Power, another public stock, joining the show. And of course, guys, I do have a new trade idea. I've got a stock that I'm going to add to the portfolio. We're going to talk about that one today. We're going to talk about all of your stocks today. Maybe we'll do some of the Teslas. Maybe we'll do some of the CCIVs. Because we have, as we talked about, some blood in the streets. There we go. James Bradshaw saying heavy on VISL, holding brilliant company. James, put questions in the chat. Start dropping them now. Drop them when the CEO comes on. We'll try to get them asked, because that's what we're doing this for. It's the show for the people. We want to get these things out there, get the intel flowing, and that's just how we're going to do it, guys. But again, we're trying the different stream approach today. So we'll go ahead, smash that like button for me, share the stream, and we will get rolling with our normal Zinger Nation stuff. I said first things first. Let's talk about airlines. I'm going to pull up my file. And the reason that I want to talk about airlines today is because they are basically some of the only stocks that actually look okay. And I'm not saying that they look great. Let me put my screen up here. All right, check this out. Airlines, favorite of the chat. So we're hitting them. Southwest, you've got up 2.5%. Delta's down about 1.5%. Spirit Airlines, let's take a peek. Spirit Airlines pretty much flat. So in a day of red, in a day of blood, I mean, let's look at this is the biggest gainers and losers on the market today. We'll go to 2 billion plus. Yeah, that's a lot of red up there, right? There's like no gaining stocks today. So on a day like today, when you've got the airlines actually looking okay, I said, why don't we do an update on our airline data? So something that we keep track of on this show, and if you've been listening to the show for a while, you subscribe to the channel, you know this, is we look at the TSA pre-check numbers. So TSA, I don't know what it stands for, Transportation something authority, I don't know, but basically we get a report of the number of people who are going through the checkpoints every single day. Right, we can see how many people are traveling via commercial air in the U.S. On every given day, and then we can compare it to the pre-COVID numbers. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you guys what this looks like. So, all right, we look at, and I updated this file on Monday. So we're looking at the 21st. That's Monday. Right, we see that 1.1 million people in the U.S. went through airport checkpoints. That suggests that 1.1 million people roughly are traveling via air. We know that pre-COVID, 2.4 million people the same day of the previous year. So February 21st, 2020, there was 2.4 million people who went through the TSA checkpoints, and we know that it's about half. Right, traveling trends are about half. And so the reason why we like to keep track of this data is because it gives us a little bit of an insight into the airlines. How good of numbers are they going to report? Right. That's a little sneak peek that we have, and not a ton of people look at this. And so that's why we like to update this every couple of weeks on the show. If we look over here, I'm scrolling us over a bit. I aggregate this data for us on a monthly basis. So in the leftmost column, we have, month of the year. In the rightmost column, we can see, what percentage of people are traveling via the airlines. So, these are your Delta, Spirit, Southwest, American, etc., versus the same comparable pre-COVID time period. So, we can see in February that we are at the highest yet. I don't think that really surprises anyone, but the travel data is pretty much in line with January and December. I think that what we want to see to get more bullish on these airlines is that February number significantly higher. So somewhere around 10% of the U.S. population has gotten vaccinated. That's a catalyst. People are getting more sick of COVID, right? So I was expecting when I pulled these numbers to see that number higher, right? I want to let's get us up to half of the amount of people traveling as they were pre-COVID. This January was a super strong month in that it was stronger than December, and of course you have all that holiday travel in December. So that's what we're looking at. A couple of people asked for it yesterday. Give us the update on the airlines. There's the update on the airlines. And let's see, we got some time. All right, producer Rohan, I think let's hit it. So something else that's a principle of this show is having fun. Being relaxed, being goofy, right? We promise you guys 3 things. 1, it's trade ideas. 2, it's that we're gonna have some fun. And 3, there are going to be some gimmicks, right? That's the deal. That's what we're gonna deliver to you guys. So trade ideas. We got 2 public company CEOs coming up to be interviewed on the show. I've got a new stock to pitch. I'm also going to be talking about some of the hedging that we're doing today. So there's the deal there. The fun part. Let's deliver on that. Let's bring some phone calls in from Zinger Nation. That's all of you out there in the chat. Again, like this stream, share this stream. Phone number is up on the screen. Let's hear from the community. Call up. Tell us a stock to look at. Get the ideas flowing. Tell us you don't like Spencer Israel or me or whatever. But the floor is yours. All right, we have a call, Rohan.
We have a call. Hello, you're on the Zinger Nation
Hey,
Power
Rohan,
Hour.
this is Ryan from Forever Reject Investing. I would love to be on the Power Hour and speak with you guys.
You're on. What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing
on
well.
this wonderful red day?
Wonderful red day. Exactly. What are you trading today? Are you cutting losses? What are you doing today?
Well, I played it light yesterday on purpose because I smelled some blood in the water,
Yep.
But I do see some dip opportunities. Sadly enough, I walked away at like 6:30 to avoid emotion. There were some great dips I could have bought, so I'm trying to get in on some opportunities I missed.
Wait, throw us some tickers. What are some of the dips you like?
I like XPL. We got to take note that a lot of stocks have dropped underneath $1 when they weren't for like a week.
Okay, let's here's the 5-day on that one.
XPL is looking good.
All right, you got another one for us?
It has some news. XPL. So let's see. What else do I like? Let me get my positions up here. I do like the proposition of a GSV as well. Minerals are still something that's I don't think is going to go away in a second. So
what is GSV? It's a gold stock, I assume.
Yeah, gold. Yeah, gold mineral, and that's something I played from like 65 cents up to 85 cents not too long ago, and we're at a dip again in which it can see the same exact movement just based on volume alone. So I like that, but pretty much sitting back and looking for some opportunities.
All right, I like it. And what's your favorite part of the show that we do now, or what's the one thing that we're not doing that we should be doing?
Oh man, I love it. It's fun, man. I mean the viewer calls are cool. I like seeing just random people's positions on things and just their ideas. So I mean, the more you can do that, the better. But overall, I like the fun energy, and I love anytime Atlas is on. By the way, I'm looking forward to the Visual interview.
Yeah, Visual, Hugh's joining us today. That's the deal.
That's right. That's my man, Hugh Haney.
All right. All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys. Take care.
All right, take care. And Rohan, I think we have time for one more. One more. We'll talk some stocks, and then we'll do some more at the end. And somebody in the chat is in GTHX. Who's that? Christopher Warden. GTHX. Let's look at that one. Is that a buy the dipper? I'm not buying the dip today yet. I'm waiting. I will buy when I see the momentum come back, right? I blew up an account before years ago trying to buy every stock that was down, and it's tough to pick the bottoms.
Hey, I will buy.
Hello? Hello, you're on the Zinger Nation Power Hour. All right, we got a no.
All right, next one, Rohan. But what I was saying is I'm not buying the dip yet. If you guys have the stomach to go ahead buy the dip, you got the stomach of steel. I mean, go for it. All right, especially if it's stocks that you really like and you want to own long term. But I want to see a little bit of momentum come back before I buy the dip. Like here's a CCIV chart. In the chat, I'm going to ask this. Don't lie. Don't be embarrassed. But if you own CCIV right now, throw the one. I mean, let's just see where the community is at with this thing. But I mean, let's look at this. I mean, the thing is still approaching bottom.
Hello?
Hello?
Turn down your radio.
Turn your speaker down.
Oh, is that good?
There we go. What's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Is this Rohan?
This is Luke and Rohan.
What's up, Luke?
What's up, baby?
Luke, baby.
There we go. Who is this? Who's
How
on the
y'all
line?
doing today? This is Red 1010, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right.
In the chat.
We're doing good.
All
We're
right,
doing good.
Everybody out there. I know a lot of people are feeling the pain, but I'm buying today. You know, I'm not letting this get me down.
There. All right. What stocks are you buying?
Well, of course, I'm buying everybody's favorite, Palantir. Can't miss that opportunity. I thought below 30 was going to be a good entry point, but 25 is looking better.
All right. See,
You know,
I sold the 29 puts, so I'm down right now.
Hey, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Sell those puts, but everybody's red. That's what it's looking like to me. But like I said, I'm not letting it get me down. My AMC is still up, which is kind of funny on that. But other than that, I'm looking forward to next week.
The fact that AMC is like the only green stock today, I think is hilarious.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you got to hedge with those meme stocks. They're looking like they actually have some hold power. It's kind of it's shaking things up.
Okay, so that's sort of like the like a new hedging strategy. Like I always buy puts against SPY or you know for my general portfolio, but maybe buying the meme stocks is the hedging that I should be doing.
It's looking like it could be a thing for the future to think about, Luke. But I'm
Yeah.
also hedging with some SPY puts as well. I got some 382s that I got. And, hopefully tomorrow, if it continues to go down, those will keep me at least leveled out.
All right, I like it. And anything else you're buying the dip in today?
I'll go ahead and mention that terrible stock I mentioned yesterday, EBIX. It was the impression that it was a short seller attack against them, but as I did some research, I'm starting to regret that purchase. Just go on YouTube and look up some videos. It's a pretty weird company. But other than that, I might be buying some more.
Yeah, wait,
Apple,
wait. Were you the one who brought this one up yesterday?
I am. I'm the guy.
We talked about it. We said it was no good.
Yeah, but now I'm in the recovery play. So it actually did not move much further than the dip from yesterday. So I'm still hopeful. But if it doesn't do much in a week or two, I might just take the L on that one.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like you're running into a low right now. Let's see if it bounces off of it. Again, guys, the news on this one, ticker EBIX, Echo Bravo India X-Ray. Basically, their accounting firm dropped them as a client. It's the company that does their audits because they didn't get sufficient data to support some irregular transactions in Q4. So
yeah, and they have come out and said in a statement that that is not true and blah blah blah. So hopefully, after that 45% drop or whatever it was, big, massive drop, I'll see at least a little recovery and then just get the heck out of it because, like I said, after doing a little research last night, I'm kind of regretting that decision. The CEO alone, he's a weird-looking guy. He kind of rubs me the wrong way.
all right, hold on. We got to do some due diligence on this EBIX CEO. All right,
Yeah,
we were pulling up Lord Farquaad next to Vlad last week, so... Wait, dude.
Guy, he's like
Yes.
a model type. It's very weird.
I think this is, if
Very weird
anything, this
guy.
is a catalyst to get long the stock. I don't know.
I mean, just look at him. He's like a playboy.
Yeah, all right,
And,
Rohan.
They,
Is this a bull or bear catalyst?
hey,
I
as
feel like
we
it's a bear
mentioned, SPY is
catalyst, honestly.
skyrocketing, so you never know. This guy, he could be really good for the market.
All
I
right,
mean, look
all
at that
right.
mustache; it's
Yeah,
powerful.
it could be a bull catalyst. Honestly, it could be.
I
What
think
they
this is
do
good.
is actually pretty good work. They help impoverished communities in India and whatnot. But for all I know, it's a scam. But yeah, as soon as I saw him, I knew it was a bad idea. But maybe I'll make a little money. Like I said, give it a week or two.
Every share you buy helps grow a stash.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, hey,
But
I
yeah,
like the
love the show,
attitude you're
guys.
taking, that it's a learning opportunity and all that. But yeah, that one's definitely looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, don't buy on a whim, don't sell on a whim either. Take your time, be patient. Everybody, these are the staples. We all know these things, but our emotions can get the best of us sometimes. We got to divorce ourselves from our emotions. And I just want to say, y'all do a great job. Keep up the calls. I'll keep calling in if y'all keep up the calls. All that kind of stuff. It's great talking to y'all and engaging. The more you engage, the more the community will grow. And yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's what Zinger Nation's all about.
Woo. All right,
yeah, and tell
thanks for
Spencer
calling.
to put those Seinfeld ones back. It's better than Rocky.
All right, well, we'll drop a note to Spencer. Spencer, kill the Rockies.
Yeah.
All right,
I
he's
want
not
more
happy.
Seinfeld, okay?
All right,
Okay,
Spencer,
well,
come here. Hold on, you've got to address. Wait, will you stay on for 1 second? We let's just address this head on, and then we're gonna get rolling with our next guest. We got an awesome guest joining us today. But Spencer,
Come on, guys. Let me
he
get one in
wants
the
you to
chat
kill the
if you wanna see
Seinfeld,
it.
kill the Rockies, replace it with Seinfeld. Thoughts on that?
I'm always open for feedback. I appreciate that. How about neither Rocky nor Seinfeld and a third mysterious option?
Uh-oh.
Could be anything.
Uh-oh. What you got back there? Some gremlins?
Yeah, we'll get some gremlins. There we go. But all right, man. Thanks
like
for calling
that
in.
idea.
Thanks for hanging out. And again, guys, if you're just joining us, running you through what we've got slated for today. We're about to bring on JJ Kinahan from TD Ameritrade. We've got 2 public company CEO interviews today. I've got a new stock pick to drop. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll talk about a little bit of hedging. But all right, without further ado, I want to bring JJ onto the stream with us. Here we go. JJ, what's going on, man?
How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
All right. Thanks for having me, Luke.
Absolutely. So we planned this a little bit ago, but today I think is a pretty good day for you to be joining. And guys, if you're not familiar with JJ, first of all, you should be. You know, it means you're not reading enough Benzinga content. But he comes to us from TD Ameritrade. But JJ, we planned this before we knew the market was going to be very red today, and especially very red in a lot of retail stocks. So I'm curious of any general thoughts you have, the sentiment you've been picking up on, et cetera.
Well, Luke, it was really interesting. I look back to this weekend, and it was like all of a sudden the whole world woke up to the fact that we could have inflation by the end of the year, because there was a real tone change in every article I read over the weekend compared to before that. Now, you have what used to be called the Humphrey Hawkins Act, but where the chairman of the Fed goes up in front of the Senate and then in front of Congress, in front of the Senate right now, did talk about staying the course, et cetera. I don't think this is a surprise to hear him with pretty much the same message. One of the things I will say about Chairman Powell, he's incredibly disciplined. And when he has a message, he stays with that message. When he changes it, he continues to change it. So from that point of view, it's really good. Now, that all being said, I do think that, we've heard about the stimulus package for so long. It looks like we're going to get closer to getting it done. But I think what's actually happened is many people are saying, okay, with this, as a percentage of GDP, we're in a lot of debt. And also, again, this inflation issue, it's something I've talked about a lot earlier this year. I don't think it's happening immediately, but I do think by the end of the year, I'd be surprised if we didn't see it. And the one thing I know, being much older than you, Luke, having lived through an inflationary time before, is inflation, when it happens, it starts slowly and then happens all of a sudden. So that's where you have to be That's where you have to be careful for the Fed, is getting out in front of this becomes a little bit more difficult. That said, I'm not here to sound any alarms, et cetera. It should be on everyone who's watching or listening. It should be on their radar right now, but you don't have to panic about it. You're still seeing a VIX below 25, so it's not like it's terrible. And we're just coming off all-time highs. So to have some sell-offs isn't necessarily a bad thing. And then the last thing is, I look at technology, and what I'm seeing there is, yes, it's been a sell-off the last few days. But with that, I also feel like some of that could be profit taking as we start to see a little bit higher rates, and many people just reassessing as we head in, toward the end of the first quarter.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Luke?
Hey, Jason.
Yes, you're a little bit quiet. I think just speak loudly.
Okay. So how does JJ? How does 25 VIX compare to historical averages?
I'm sorry, how does 25 VIX compare to what? I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Jason.
No, now you're totally lost. But the question that he asked JJ was, you said the VIX is at around 25. How does that compare to historical averages, maybe especially preceding longer downturns that we've had, et cetera?
So, if you look the last couple of years, VIX has been, that's an incredibly high level. Maybe not for 2020, but overall, historically, it's a little bit on the higher side. That said, the way I'm looking at VIX right now is under 30. I'm not really sounding any alarm bells. When it starts to reach 30, I think that's when you're saying, okay, there's a little bit more caution in the wind, if you will. And above that, obviously, the different levels can continue with different levels of caution. But as long as we're under 30, that's where I'm fairly comfortable. And as I say, that really gets to where you want to start considering, what do I want to do with my portfolio? Do I want to put a little bit more protection towards it, et cetera? And again, I think one of the mistakes that many of your viewers as retail traders sometimes, unfortunately do. And again, when I talk about a mistake, first of all, I want everybody to know I've made it 1,000 times. So, but one of the things that I think happens to people occasionally is you see a level and you're like, oh my God, I have to move all of my portfolio around. The biggest thing you can ever do for yourself, and when something changes, is to do a portion of your portfolio. It helps you reevaluate your thinking. People say don't have emotions in terms of the market. People have emotions because it's money. But what you want to do is be more programmatic, or at least as much programmatic as possible. And moving small amounts, I think, really helps you in that way.
Okay. And I mean, do you, let's say, I'm sure you hear from newer users or less experienced users all the time. You're throwing around a word like hedging might be intimidating or overwhelming to them. How do you have any tools you suggest people use to get started, or any simple frameworks that they should be thinking in, et cetera?
Sure. You guys do education here all day long. We do education at TD Ameritrade all day long, and we have great resources that are free. I would say that, the industry in general does an amazing job of trying to teach you how to use the tools. And so with that, I would say take advantage of that. For us, getting trading accounts, there's a cost, there's a time element, et cetera, to that. It's in our best interest that you're successful long term. We don't want you coming in and blowing up. With all that said, a few pieces of advice I'd start with, Luke. First of all, start smaller than you think you need to. If you haven't made a trade before, if you haven't done a covered call before, wherever you may be on your investing journey, so to speak, and everybody's at different levels, as you take that next step, start small, because you're probably going to make some mistakes. That's any skill in life. So it's easy to become a bigger trader. It's difficult to lose money and then try and make up for it. And
I've been there.
We've all been there, right? The second biggest thing I can give to anybody is plan where you're getting out of the trade, not just to the upside, but to the downside. If I'm buying a stock, actually the place where I always start is, if it goes here, I'm either getting out or I'm buying more. So, if I have 500 shares to buy, I might only start with 200 and say to myself, here's where I want as an average price. So if we go down, 2-3%, I want to actually buy more. Not I'm buying it up here. I'm going to put it in my stop order and be nailed. So again, partials and having a plan of where you're buying more or getting out are the two, in my opinion, best places to start.
Okay. So partials, starting small, having the plan, entry, exit. That's it.
I always, and time frame. What's your time frame? If I have a longer time frame, Luke, I'm going to make a way bigger path to where I'm buying more or where I'm willing to get out. If I have a shorter time frame, I have to be, things can move much quicker in a shorter time frame. So I have to scrunch their area a little bit more. So again, being aware of the products you trade and doing that. And as far as the partials, I always used to joke. I traded in the pits at Chicago Board Options Exchange for 20 years.
What pit were you in?
I was primarily, at the time, the OEX was the biggest pit in the world. There were about 600 people.
Wait, what's, okay, I don't even know, what's OEX?
S&P 100.
Okay.
Which then led into the SPX, which is the S&P 500. So I was in the 100, then went to the 500 when that was the more dominant pit. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, the 100 was the dominant pit. But I always joke that, traders are great at partials. Maybe that's why there's a high divorce rate in terms of traders. But although I will say that my wife made a terrible trade 31 and a half years ago, and she's stuck with it for life. But that all said, overall, a partial mindset when trading, getting into trades, getting out of trades, I think is one of the best things that you can have.
Jason, we don't hear you at all now. I can hear him a little bit out of this ear because he's in the office with me.
Well, if you want to interpret his question, happy to.
His question was, can you hear me now? And the answer is no.
No, but he's darn good looking, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we tell him all day. He joins a Zoom, we mute his mic, and we just, yeah.
He's here for the eye candy.
Nope, still no, Jason. All right. Well, JJ, thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining. Again, like I said up top, we didn't plan for you to come on a day where the market is very red, but I'm glad that you could come on a day where the market is very red and provide some insight for us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure. We'll talk soon, Luke.
All right. Talk soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. How was that? Somebody in the chat saying we can read lips. Okay. If you're just tuning in now, we've got 2 executive interviews that we're doing on the Power Hour today. I might even have some sound effects now. There it is. All right. First air horn of the day. Let's go. I've got a new stock that I'm going to be dropping. And of course, we are going to talk some hedging today, maybe even get a couple more user calls going. But I want to bring onto the stream with me a good friend of the show. He's comes and hangs out with us every single week. Hugh, what's up, man? You're looking dapper today.
How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad. This morning was shaky for the Hugh Henney portfolio. I'll tell you what.
I think everybody.
Yeah, I was down a good chunk. This was turning out to be my largest red day ever. But we turned it around, so it's all good.
Uh-oh. Do we lose Hugh?
You lost me?
You froze. You turned into a robot. You froze, and now you're back in the flesh. So
sweet.
All right. But you were looking bad today. Looking a little bit better now.
Oh yeah, 10 times better. 10 times better. Now it's a scratch at anything if we close right now.
Okay. All right. There we go. So we're gonna get to VizLink in just a second here. See the chat going crazy, wanting us to bring Mickey on. So we're gonna do that in a second. But Hugh, let me ask you: when you have a day like today, you're way down. How do you handle that? Are you closing positions? What are you buying the dip? What are you doing?
I think it really depends on what I'm seeing. Right now, I look at this as a buyable dip inside the market. None of the fundamentals have changed. We were getting close to 400, so I felt like the SPY needed an overall dip. So when you look at the overall market, the market's only down 0.66%. It's just small caps are taking a huge beating across everywhere, across any sector inside small caps. And I think that is due to the fact that any kind of red with the amount of new retail inside this space, any kind of red was going to make this happen. And I think that's what we're seeing. We've just seen a parabolic move up. So, new retail traders aren't used to red. So any kind of red, it just panics out. I was up at like 5 a.m. and my entire portfolio was down like 25%. And I was like, gee. And it was just because of the massive spreads. New retail was just selling into the bid.
Yeah. I made a point today. We do an all company, everybody at Benzinga, like 130 people, all on do a big meeting every Tuesday. And I made a point this morning of, guys, we're going into battle today, sort of, in that all these people who joined the stock market within the past month have not seen a red day yet, really, especially not 2 in a row. So that's the mindset that we need to be in for a lot of our users today. So that's our deal.
No, exactly. I mean, it was tough even because I hadn't seen something like this in, something in a while. Red, like, whoa,
Yep, I hear you. But all right, let's get to VizLink, VISL. I'm gonna get a drum roll going. There it is.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Mickey?
Hey, great to be with you today.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to hang out. Welcome to the Power Hour. How are things in your world today?
It's going great. I mean, obviously, what you were just talking about, the market's had some troubles, but we keep focused on what we're doing here, and we're pretty excited about what we're doing. So
you're lucky with our business being the stock market. We can't focus on our focus. It's like we're like squirrels running around trying to figure it out all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So Mickey, we've got a big crowd that's tuned in to hear from you today. But for anybody who isn't familiar, can you just give us an overview of the business? Talk about some of the background, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. VizLink is a leader in collection, delivery, and management of high quality live video and associated data at the heart of the action, and we take it to the screen. So we work with broadcasters, content creators, content rights owners, military, government, industrial companies, first responders. As an example, just about every major event you can think about, whether it's the Olympics, the World Cup, Wimbledon, US Open, they all use our technology. And teams in the NFL, the NBA, we have cameras in every NHL goal to officiate, to help officiating. NCAA on the MilGov side, every major first responder in the U.S. I shouldn't say every, but pretty close to every uses our technology. Whether it's the LAPD, California Highway Patrol, all the way to Mass State Police, where our technology helped find the Boston bomber. But entertainment, The Price is Right, come on down, is our technology is used for. That I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, Academy Awards, that intimate scene with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. That was all done with our technology. So, we make immersive, competitive video consumable and actionable. It's basically what we do.
Awesome. And what's the biggest part of the business? Is it? I mean, you're in everything from entertainment to sports to military. What's the biggest segment?
It's about from a product standpoint, we're about wireless camera business is about 40%, and then the balance is between SATCOM products and our MilGov aerial downlink products. So depending on years, it could be split 50-50 MilGov to sports and entertainment. Obviously, last year, with sports and entertainment down 70%, the amount of games that were actually viewed and showed were down 70%. So we did see a little bit of hit, but we were able to pick up some new content that was coming on board that we'll make some announcements about. But overall, it ended up about a 50-50 split.
Okay. And Hugh, I've been I've been stealing Mickey. You hop in.
Yeah. Hey, Mickey, thanks for joining us. I have shares of Vislink, and I got to be honest, but you joined Vislink last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
yes.
January of last year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so before you came on, I actually covered Vislink for a few years, and it was something that I wasn't a huge fan of Vislink. I got to be honest.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I got to be. Yeah. I mean, there was huge issues that I had with it. I mean, it felt like investors were getting dumped on, offerings every other week. And part of the reason that, I was excited reading your background was when I first started covering Vislink, it was primarily a government drone contract. That was I think 78% of the revenue. Yeah, 78% of the revenue. Have we seen a complete business plan transition into this broadcasting? And is that where you want Vissel to go? And can you kind of touch on where is the government contracts going to completely be dissolved, and that's just keeping the balance sheet up right now? Or can you kind of touch on where the business plan is going? Because I don't think I've really had a clear message.
That's a great question, Hugh. Our business, what we do in each of those segments is basically the same. It's all around video, and it's all about taking and capturing that video, distributing and managing that video. And so we can do that in those segments and continue to grow those segments. So what we've done since I've been here, we've in 12 months, we'll have introduced more products than they did in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we introduced the IP Link, which is a broadcast product, the DV6100, which is a SATCOM product. We're introducing our new wireless camera platform for receive sites in later this quarter. So what we've done is really excited the new product development, but we can basically take these modules of silicon, whether it's FPGAs or SoCs, and create products very easily for the different applications. And in many cases, we're reusing the same products, but for a different application.
Is that why?
So we continue, our view is we view things going to what we call the connected edge. And it's basically the idea behind the fact that we've got IP everywhere. IP, it's been in the computer world for 20 plus years, telecom for maybe 5 to 8. It's just getting to other parts and other verticals. So we'll have IP everywhere. We'll have deep fiber. 5 years ago, you didn't have fiber at many police stations. You didn't have fiber at many stadiums. Now you're getting fiber pretty deep, and there's another 39 million miles of fiber that will be deployed around the world in the next couple of years. So, and then you talk about the wireless technologies, whether it's 5G, Wi-Fi 6, COFDM, or mesh. So many wireless technologies to connect devices to devices. So I think that's where we see in every segment we play, and then others, this connected segment where you're connecting machines to machines, IoT, if you will. And then with a layer of AI on top, we're going to be able to do what we do with video and do it much better, more immersive, more cameras. I think we're going to see both in broadcast and content creation, as well as in MilGov, a lot more cameras, a lot more immersive shots. I think we'll see someday, Patrick Mahomes, I don't know if Brady will be there around for it, but Patrick Mahomes will have a POV camera in his helmet, and we'll be able to see from his perspective of what he's seen on the field. So I think there's just a massive amount for us to take these technologies and bring them to the markets that we serve.
So speaking of that, are you guys going to keep? Recently, you guys have opened up a new LinkedIn page called Vislink News and Entertainment. And you guys still have, there's no posts on it. There's very little followers. Is that going to be your new LinkedIn page? And is that where, or is Vislink Technologies and Vislink News and Entertainment still going to be two different things? Because I've been stalking your new LinkedIn a little bit.
No, I just heard about that one today. So we're going to merge those two. We're going to stay with the Vislink.
Okay, so you're going to stay with the technologies and the news and entertainment. Can you kind of touch on where that's going?
Well, yeah, we'll converge that into one from that LinkedIn platform. But yeah, we'll leverage the technology we have and build on those. The beauty that we have, Hugh, is we've got, and I know you've seen the investor deck that we put on. We have 30,000 customers around the globe, 150 partners, over 80 countries that we've done business in. So we can take this around the world, and we're in like the Bosnian military, the Spanish army. We have in the London Metropolitan Police over 15 helicopters that are equipped with our stuff, over 200 receive sites in handhelds that use our stuff. So we have the ability to take this technology globally, and we'll leverage the existing platforms and channels we have. We have so many relationships and so many contacts. We're just going to leverage that and bring more of our comprehensive portfolio to them.
Definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
I was just going to hop in. So is the idea basically, hey, you have these legacy contracts that have existed for a while. Now you have a new product pipeline, and let's bring that product pipeline into those contracts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one piece of it. The second piece, as you know, we did a $50 million raise that is focused 100% on growth. And so we're going to bring new acquisitions to the table that either augment our technology, our people, our channels, but also, there'll be other opportunities for us to return shareholder value through companies that, had a difficult time through COVID because they didn't have access to capital. So we're pretty excited about what we're seeing there. And so through both acquisition and inorganic growth through new product development, we think we've got a really bright future.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I actually wanted to touch on that. Mickey, as an investor and someone who, is pretty familiar with the Bissell name, and I touched on it earlier, one of the biggest things for me was that this is expensive. And you are an expensive industry, and I know you just did a $50 million raise, but $50 million in your industry goes like that. As an investor, how far is that cash going to get you? And even more so, taking a step further, your pipeline to profitability. How long do you guys have a timeline, or can I, at a certain point as an investor, I'm done with the offerings? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What we did, like I said, this offering was not about funding current operations.
Yeah.
We size our operations based on which, for the history of the company was 2019 was a low point for the history of the company.
Yeah.
And we sized operations below that. So our goal is, even in worst case, we'll be cash flow neutral.
Yeah.
And take this for growth. And so, that's where our focus is. And, since I got here, when I got here, our goal wasn't to be a small company. Our goal is to build a big company that makes a difference in people's lives.
I'm really happy that you touched on that, because your background, Mickey, is really interesting. I'm taking it right from your LinkedIn page. You've taken more than one company. You've taken it, built it up, and then it's been acquired. Is that the goal here with Bissell, or is it here for the long term to be a big player?
Yeah, my goal here, and I told this to the team the first day I started, is to build the company we've all wanted to work for, and build a great company. I've done the build and sell at this point in my life. I want to build something that the younger leaders in our organization could take on to the next level. But I think, we've got a long runway here. We're in the early innings. We think we've got a great opportunity. That's why, we brought in, really strong people who have been part of much larger organizations. Mike Bond, who I've had on as my CFO pretty much since I started. He joined in April, but he was in before, kind of helping things out. He used to run M&A for Avaya and Lucent, so he's done over 50 billion of transactions. 30 billion conservatively, but probably close to 50. He's also done workouts like we've done, over the last year with Vislink. Joe Carson, who we just brought in as head of supply chain. Joe ran Lucent Supply Chain. He ran Micron Supply Chain, which is a $30 billion company, and also at Juniper, which is a $4 billion company. So we brought in the talent to be able to take this company to the next level. So we're really, really excited now that we've got our operations in place and new capital to go out and bring new technologies, new products, and new channels onto our platform. We're very excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you talked about the investor deck, and you talked about the 30,000 partners and customers, but the revenue, at least since before you've come in, it's kind of been stagnant, and we haven't seen. You called Bissell the leader or a leader inside this space, but the revenue has been stagnant. Are these contracts going to start to see follow-on contracts? Are we going? For instance, you talked about, I think last Wednesday, you said that Bissell had 18 cameras at the Super Bowl. If the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to be there. Am I going to see, 50 Bissell cameras? And more importantly, as an investor, when's the revenue going to start to see that?
Right. That's a great question. So if you look at where Vislink was, in 2018, they did $40 million.
Yeah.
2019, they did 28. That wasn't because the market depressed. The market was there. They just couldn't deliver. They didn't have the capital to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
When I showed up, we owed vendors $10 million. So these vendors weren't shipping product. So we had to work with all our vendors to work out arrangements to get them to believe in our story, which they all have, and we've totally paid them down. We have no debt.
That's awesome.
So they couldn't deliver. So that 40 to 28 was really the opportunities that were there. Some orders were there, but they couldn't execute on them, so they lost orders. Last year we'll have our results out for last year. Obviously with COVID, a challenging year, but we put in place now the infrastructure to take advantage of the growth in the areas, plus the secular growth trends that I talked about that we think will transform not only sports entertainment, military and government, but also campuses and other places. So we think because really what we do is take and distribute video. And I think video is going to become more important in every aspect of our lives. And the ability to take that video and either consume it as incredible and immersive content or take action on it. Today in every police department, they're getting multiple feeds from videos, but it's not being pulled together in one place and have an AI look at it to say, hey, we might send an officer over to Main Street because there's a potential issue there. There's an ability to take both the video as well as all the accompanying data, acoustic sounds, gunshot sounds, things like that, pulling in all that data into one source that then can be analyzed with actions taken more proactively at a lower cost of operation for our first responders. So that's the kind of thing that we see happening in every major market. Where IT used to be just a group doing computers over here. Now IT is part of every operation and the fundamental part of every operation that exists in every vertical market.
That's awesome.
Yep. And something that you touched on is you touched on some of the historical financials. You touched on COVID and the state that the world's in. But could you get into a little bit about how you guys are positioned to take advantage of the world coming out of COVID, economic slowdown, et cetera?
Yeah. So like I said, we've done a lot of the restructuring around getting the right footprint, both in our focus and our people and how we're organized. We've also brought our real estate footprint down. We brought that down dramatically. I think that you'll see the information there in the deck. And so we have a competitive footprint today. So the growth, where we see the growth coming, is a couple places. One, as we come out of COVID, we have some major tentpole events coming in sports and entertainment. We have the Olympics. Our new quantum receiver will be all over the Olympics in Japan. We have UEFA Cup starting in August. Again, massive opportunity for us. Next year, the World Cup in Qatar, again, a massive opportunity that we'll be a part of. And then we've got another Olympics next year in China, the Winter Olympics. So those are 4 tentpole events in addition to all the other events. And I don't know, you guys are sports fans. I don't know, I watch a lot of sports. It's just not the same without fans in the crowd. The
Yeah.
energy's not there. So, we're looking forward to being a part of that reemergence of sports and entertainment as a big part of our lives, the way we love it.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm happy that you touched on that because I think recently, I think it was last weekend, the UFC said that they had 8K cameras. And you guys have touched on, right from your deck, new product development process in place, major innovative product platforms expected to release in 2021. You touched on something coming out before the end of the quarter, which is only, really 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Are we talking 8K cameras? What can I expect inside the near, 1 to 3 months?
In the near term, in addition to what we've announced in the last couple of months, we'll have our quantum platform, which is basically, you see, an all IP platform. It won't be, limited to just broadcast. It'll be an all IP platform that will be able to deliver 4K. Now, 8K is still, we have some 8K in development, but 8K is still such a small part of the marketplace. You need to be doing some development there, but the majority, even the majority of sports these days are not at 4K. They're at 1080p 50. And so, we evolve our product line as the compression technologies changes, as well as the viewing content technologies change. So those are all lined up within our portfolio, as well as 5G comes out, integrating that into our portfolio. So we will take these new technologies and integrate them well ahead of the time that we see broad acceptance of them.
That's awesome. And I think I just have one more question. I had Vissel's tweets on, and one of the things that came out about 3 weeks ago was a tweet that was deleted, and it specifically named Starlink. Now, I know that, you're not sitting there on your phone, tweeting from Vissel, but can you touch on, the impact that Vissel could have, if any, inside either Starlink or the space sector, if any?
Yeah, I think Starlink, what's happened in the LEO-MEO, so right now, all satellite comms is largely GEO, which is, many miles above the Earth and LEO-MEO. So with LEO-MEO products, it's going to bring a massive amount of capacity around the world. And again, as we talked about the extended edge, that's only going to be one more medium for which the overall extended edge to be able to use. So whether it's satellite, whether it's microwave, whether it's fiber, whether it's 5G, whether it's Wi-Fi 6, whatever it is, we're going to be able to have that as part of our solution, to be able to provide that complete solution to our customers and many times their customers.
Awesome. And I think I just have one more question. So you've touched on acquisitions. You've kind of hinted at it. The last few filings, I have over 7 times inside the last 3 filings has acquisitions come up, which is more than the last 2 years of your previous tenure. You've hinted at it, but we haven't really gotten, if this link, I know you're looking, but are you in talks for acquisitions? I think you touched on Ben Carson. I think it specifically says, integrating future acquisitions. Can we see a future acquisition this year inside the next 2 quarters?
Acquisitions, in terms of putting timing on, I can tell you right now, I'm spending a great deal of my time looking at opportunities.
Yeah.
Like I said, that $50 million, it's not being deployed. We're not using it for our existing operations. We're putting that focused on growth, both acquisitions as well as, if we have a new technology they want to bring to market that's not in our current plan. However, right now, 100% of that raise is all about growth and acquisition. So I've been on with many potential targets, as well as bankers who are bringing ideas to us. So
that's awesome.
We're really excited about that, because it will be a transformative event for us. It will be able to take us to really get the kind of platform that we want to have to grow in the future more dramatically.
Awesome.
All right, and I've got a couple questions. I've been reading through the chat. It's been a very active chat, so it's taking some concentration to read through. But just a couple questions out of the chat. I know we touched on it a little bit, but can you talk a little bit about international expansion and go a little bit deeper there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did have the recent announcement about Ashark News, which is basically has Bloomberg throughout the Middle East. We've got, as I said, we have over 150 partners globally. We replaced our leader in the Middle East about March of last year. He's done a phenomenal job. So we expect to see good growth. We're seeing the funnel there has been, real pleased with where the funnel is out of the Middle East. You'll see some announcements, or hope to see some announcements around that in the future. And then we also brought on some additional sales focus into Asia around the MilGov space, because we haven't had great penetration there beyond the Korean police and the Thai army. We think there's plenty of opportunities there. So we're really excited about growth right now. Today, over 55% of our sales are outside the U.S. and we have more of our employees are outside the U.S. than inside the U.S. So we're pretty excited about the growth we have here, and then the great potential as well that we have outside of the U.S.
Okay. And then I'm just going to ask one more out of the chat, and we'll let you go. You've hung out for a while with us, Mickey. We appreciate it. But we covered a lot here over these past 25 minutes or so. But if you had to name one thing that you were most excited for, I know it's sort of a tough question, but if you had to name one or maybe two things that you're most excited for, what would they be?
I'm excited for the connected edge concept. I mean, people, as this evolves over time, when you look at these secular technology changes that are happening in terms of all types of Wi-Fi and wireless connectivity, coupled with big data and AI, it's going to transform not only the markets that we're in, but every single vertical market in the world. Okay. And we're just happy to be a part of it, because, coming from the telecom background, I've seen what's been done over the last 20 years. 5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of fiber at many of the base stations. Now, not only are they going to have fiber at base stations, but they're going to have compute power at base stations. Many times that compute power will be GPUs, not just CPUs. So you're going to have massive compute at the edge, and that is going to transform our lives like we've never seen. And you add AI and big data on top of that. It's in my view, there's never a better time than today to be in the technology business. And I've been in it for over 30 years. I'm more excited now than I've ever been. And we have a chance here at BizLink to take a great advantage of it.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, Mickey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mickey. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, Hugh, what do you think of that?
That was awesome.
You brought the questions, man.
Yeah, I had some key questions that I felt like as an investor I really needed to understand before. I was really like, because Vissel, when I first started covering Vissel, I vowed to never touch it again. And I don't know if I made that point clear, but even when I started looking back into Vissel, I was like, man, am I really gonna do this again? But the entire landscape of the company changed, and except the name, and I think that that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, you were the one who got a lot of the chat, a lot of Zinger Nation out there into the stock, interested in the stock initially. So I knew it when Mickey was coming on. I'm like, all right, Hugh, for the day that you're joining us this week, let's make it Tuesday.
Yeah,
because you're gonna have better questions to ask than I am.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome. And, if you heard Mickey, we're expecting a PR within the next month. That's something that we hadn't known before, was that they are going to release a new product within the next month, which is.
And you got your LinkedIn question answered.
I got my LinkedIn question. I have, that's been burning me. I look at it.
Tell from your Twitter feed that it's been burning you.
I look at it because I'm like, oh man, like VisLink News? Am I going to turn on, Fubo TV and, see VisLink News Network? Yeah. So I think it's really awesome. And I love hearing about the cash that they want to become, net neutral. And that would, as an investor who, I've watched VisLink do like 20 offerings in the matter of like a year. So hearing that is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Well, all right, Hugh, we're going to keep clipping. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for hanging out the power as always. And we'll talk to you soon.
See you, Luke. See you guys.
All right. Take care, man. All right, guys. Next up on the docket, let me give you a little bit of a rundown. We're going to be bringing Rob Roy on back with us favorite of the chat. We're going to talk some trade ideas with him. I have a new stock to pitch. I promise you I'm not going to leave today before I pitch a new stock. And we are doing another interview. That's right, another interview with the publicly traded company. And last but not least, let's talk hedging. It's a bloodbath today. If you own stocks, you're down today. That's just the truth. Maybe Rob isn't down. Let's bring him on and see. He's pretty sophisticated. But again, we got another public company interview coming up. We're going to talk trade ideas. I've got a new stock to pitch, and we're just going to keep rolling. And guys, if you have tickers you want us to take a look at, drop them in the chat, and we will hopefully get to them before we move on to our crypto show starting at 2 o'clock. But Robert, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Power Hour.
Hey, Luke, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. How you like the moves today?
It's a little bit red today.
Just a little.
Yeah, I'm getting my ass kicked a little bit. I'll admit it. I think a lot of us are, but I don't know. How are you looking today?
Some of the long positions, absolutely, we're taking a little bit of a hit, but we're still within our stop range, so we're okay. I think we got stopped out of one position today. We still got a couple of shorts for this week. MGM is one of them. So we're holding on. We're in some covered positions on American Airlines, but I'm not selling that. I think the airlines are the place to go with COVID recovery. We did okay on a put with SPY today. Very specific setup that took place today. So
is this an SPY hedge or what is it?
No, SPY was just a directional trade. It was just market move, day trade on SPY, grabbed a couple of contracts on the options. Great move. It was 30 minutes in the trade.
All right. So like, I guess it'd be interesting for me to hear what you saw that made you want to get into the trade. How'd you know to close out of it? I mean, we're in a pretty quick market today.
Cool. Let me share my screen.
All right.
Let's see. Can you see my charts at this point?
Let's see. All right. There it is. I'm going to make it really big for us for a second. All right.
And I'm going to zoom in on it so we get a better view. This is a little bit longer term picture of the S&P 500, right? A couple of months back. So I'll bring it in a little bit. I've got a fib drawn on here. This is something that I go over every day, looking at the Fibonacci's on 20 different candidates that we trade regularly. And as of yesterday, we were okay. We broke below the 8. We were above the 21 moving average. We were okay. We were in a good place. And then we gapped down this morning. We violated that 21 EMA, the green line. But we opened right near a key Fibonacci level. I'm concerned at this point thinking, all right, do I want to take any kind of trade in here? We've got enough room to run, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a quick bounce with an overreaction to the gap down this morning on that first move. So I watched it on SPY. And if we go over to SPY, we've got the same types of lines drawn on there, right? Very close in numbers. And if you're familiar with Fibonacci's at all, those of you that are listening, and Luke, I know you are.
Yep, I'm listening.
You get this great move up and this pullback. And where did we go to today? We went down to the 50 percentile line intraday. The key is, did we have a clear and concise entry at that 50, right? And we take it down in a trade station. Let me zoom in a little bit. This down here is the 50 percentile line. We had 4 nice, strong directional bars, real good, strong movement down. We closed just slightly below that. We opened a little bit lower, we pulled down, and we bounced. And we got back above that level. It was a very defined potential entry on the trade. Why? Because we knew our risk. We're going to go down below that. The low of that wick is going to be our stop. And if we are taken out and the bears do keep pushing it down, so be it. We got a quick little bounce. And this line up here, the 384.28, that is the previous fib line, 384.28, right here. That's the 382. Okay. That was our target. And even if you decided to try to push higher, your next resistance would be your moving average. And we ran right to it. So look at the keys of what happened today. We opened near a key Fibonacci level. We dropped down to our low near a key Fibonacci level. We ran right back up. We were able to get out of the trade and even higher up to the next key level, which was the 21 moving average. Now, did they all work out this great? No, this happened to be a fantastic trade. I mean, it was 33% in about a half an hour.
And are these daily candles that you have up on the SPY chart?
Yes, these are dailies right here. When we go into Trade Station, we're looking at the intraday. So I'm dropping my daily. I draw all my fibs here, right? And I take it and I drop it then down into my intraday here. Just the lines that I need to use are dropped in there, right? So and here's my 5 minutes.
Okay. And so it seems like the daily candles is what gave you more of the day trade than the intradays.
They always do, Luke.
Okay. All right.
That's interesting. Everything that I do starts with a day trade. And if you look at my template on TradeStation, I've got 4 different time frames.
Okay.
My primary is my 5. My daily is my decision making, meaning this said yesterday, hey, we need to look for this. Or today, after the gap down, we need to look for this. We go to the 5 minute. We confirm what's going on in the 5. We go back to the 30 to see what's the overall pattern. We're bearish on the 30 in here. We got a nice little move, but we got the bounce took place in there right at that 1030 mark. And then we use the 1 potentially to help tweak the entry in the trade if need be. But everything starts with the daily trade.
All right. So there's a SPY trade. I like it. Anything else you're looking at today?
I am. I think traders are missing the boat if they're not focused on a channeling pattern. So if you look at things like ADP as an example. All right, I need a little more time on that. Let's see. Let me take it to a template without any moving averages on it. Okay. So if we look at ADP in here, you can see where I originally drew this channel from, Luke. We had the blue lines in my original pattern right in here. Great move, right? And then that's where most traders stop. If you look, I've got 2 sets of lines above the blue line, the top line or resistance line of the channel. I've got 2 sets of lines below, right? ADP is a great potential right now, and it ran. Today was the day. I missed it. I didn't catch the trade. Look where it opened. It ran right up to its resistance level, dropped back off, took half the trade off, or should have taken half the trade off and pulled back. If we close here today, there's another opportunity of a bounce off that 170.61 up to 173.59, right? And that would be my half exit. I would take half the trade off at this black line. The second half would come off at 176.57. And it's key
so if it hits that 176, you're taking the other half off. It's not like you're moving a stop up or anything along those lines. You're in it until it hits there, and then you're out of the trade.
Correct. Most people, whether you realize it or not, what we're looking at on here is Fibonacci's, whether someone realizes it or not. If you take the 2 blue lines that are right in here, I extended out those same blue lines above it. This is a 100% continuation. This is a 100% fail if we look down in here. And the lines in the middle are 50 percentile or 50% pullbacks. I call them Fibots, F-I-B-O-T, Fibot. And we look for those areas as key areas. If you took this breakout right in here, Luke, and tried to run it all the way up here, not only did you not make any money, you probably got your head handed to you the next day as it pulled back. But what if we got in the trade on the bounce off of the blue line if you took it there? Not my favorite spot, but if. And you got out of half the trade right at this first line. Move your stop up and get out of the second half of your trade up here. You know, if it ran and went all the way, okay, I didn't make 100% of the profit I could have, but you will find if you look at these patterns over and over again, you will find that this pattern presents itself and you'll have a much better chance of success if you do this than if you try to get the home run and go all the way to that next blue line in one shot.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned it briefly, but can you take us through a little bit how you decided to put this trade on in the first place? You know, what you saw that was the trigger of, okay, I'm getting into this thing.
So what I would have been looking at today was this. We closed yesterday above that 170.61 level, right? I would have been looking for a retest of that 170.61 today and a bounce. If we got the retest, there's the potential entry. Immediately, target 1, sell half of the trade. Now, if you only have 1 contract, you just close the position out and you're done. Okay. Yeah, let's say you have 2, or you have 200 shares of stock or 100 shares of stock. Just sell half of it off, just shy of that 173.59. And I'm going to be out at about 175.5 on my second component up here. But that bounce off of that key level would have been exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. That's the entry into the trade. And it's not just here. Here's one of them, right? Here's CVX.
What's the ticker on this one that you're pulling up?
CVX, so Chevron.
Chevron, okay. So Charlie, Victor, X-ray.
Right. Chevron had a nice little bounce in there. It finally got its breakout. These breakouts are the biggest head fake that traders tend to deal with. I am not normally a breakout trader. I am a retest trader. If I can get the pullback and close near that, and the reason I had it on my list is look where it was earlier today. We're down about 96 3/4, right, versus 95 3/4 support. If we can close down near that 95 3/4, I'm looking for that entry potential tomorrow with about 101 as my first resistance and then 107 as my second target in there. And this just happens over and over again. I've got a few more if you want to see them. You tell me.
Well. Could we do this? I'm pulling a question out of the chats. You can say no if it's a bad question. But could you show us how you draw the Fibonacci lines on the chart?
These lines right in here?
Yep.
Okay, so ideally, I'm looking for a channel that has been set up. So if there's a stock that most of the channels that are out there that are optional, I have lines drawn on them. So if you look at this pattern right here, I am looking for 1, 2 times that it comes to a support and a resistance.
Okay.
Right. So if I delete this line off,
so you've got support at least twice here, and you've got resistance twice here.
Correct. So 84.53 and 95.79 are my support and resistance levels.
Okay.
All right. So if I delete that off of there, what ideally would have worked for me, and this is how. Oh, wrong one. I've got too many tools that I've modified in here. No, wrong one. Come on now. All right. What are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. So come up in here, snap that line over. All my lines are drawn automatically. So I am looking for these 2 levels in here as an example, right? I'm looking for where those 2 levels align themselves, that I get 2 hits on the bottom. I'm looking for 2 hits on the top, and I'll try to get it to every penny I can of that level. I'll tweak it back in there until I get right up to that wick. This one I'm right down to a wick here, and I'm good to go. I may actually, you could adjust this one up a little bit to take advantage of that wick so you don't miss out on that trade. And I had 84 here. I wrote my numbers down purposely. I had 84.53. It winds up at 84.47. We're right in the same ballpark. But now I've got 1, 1, 2, 2. At that point, I'm ready. And then what happens? The stock makes a move down, right? Would I have taken that trade in there? Potentially. It recovered. My stop is up here somewhere, so I'm okay. It recovered. First exit here, second exit down here.
Got it. All right. It's helpful.
Did I answer it, Luke?
You answered it. I appreciate it. You didn't just give us the trade ideas today, but you actually gave us the lessons too. Something else that you mentioned that I thought was a really interesting point was that you're closing your positions right before your target prices. So let's say it was $100 is what the price is to close out. You're saying close it at 99.5, rather than letting it run all the way up there, possibly getting rejected, etc.
Correct. Yeah, resistance is seen by everybody. And what happens is the more times a stock, particularly in the channel, the more time a stock attacks that level, traders start to realize and say, let me just back off just a little bit so I make sure that I get out and I don't become part of the whipsaw in there. And then they back it down 50 cents. And then the next time it's $1 and then it's $2 and you're getting your head handed to you and you can't understand why you're not making it to that resistance level any longer.
Yep, I get it. All right. And then if people want to learn more, they want to stay in touch with you, they want to keep the journey going, where should they go to?
So you've got your link in the chat box. I see in there the pinned link at the top there, but wealthbuildershq.com. But what I did, Luke, is that link that you have there, I took this strategy because I knew there was going to be questions on it because no one teaches it this way. Nobody teaches it the way that I do with these extra lines on there. I put an entire training series together on it free. Just go ahead and register for it, and you'll get a link to the class, and go check it out, guys. It's going to take you through everything that I do to draw these lines and how I trade them and all of that.
All right, there you go. We didn't even hit the air horns yet today, so you're going to get the first one of the day. There it is. That's loud. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Rob Roy, thanks for joining us. As always, good to have you on the Power Hour. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We always appreciate it.
Thanks, Luke. Have a good day.
All righty. You as well.
Take care, man.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Giving you a little preview of what we have to come today. I'm looking ahead at our agenda. We've got a jam-packed agenda, and we are trying something a little bit different today in that rather than having one big continuous stream, we're breaking all the shows up into separate chunks, and so you'll be hopping between the links. We'll be spamming the link in the chat. Don't worry. plenty of opportunities to click it because at 2 o'clock, we're going to go over to our crypto show. 2:30, we're doing biotech. So if you're not getting ideas, something's wrong, your speakers aren't working. If this day is not helpful, I don't know how it could be more helpful. Couple things. Jason, what's up?
I want to make sure my mic's working first. Hold on.
Wow. Look at you, a fancy mic. Somebody's saying, how's the chat challenge going? We should probably give an update on that.
Not yet. We shouldn't.
All right. Not yet.
We should not. You know why?
Why?
Because we didn't do this yet.
Zinger Nation is going head to head to head to head to head every single week. What is the best performing stock of the week going to be? Okay.
That's why. Do you like that little video I made?
That is nice. Yes.
That
is very nice.
Trying to work hard. What is Austin saying in the chat right now? Dude, I just sold some AMC, by the way. It was up 20%. You know, I bought more. Is this a trade? I don't necessarily believe in the company long term, but I sold a little bit of AMC just now. And Luke, you know, I bought some puts on Tesla yesterday. I was a little nervous because they were pretty expensive and they're up 50%. So that's good.
Okay.
I'm still net long on it. So I'm still getting beat on it. But I don't know if you remember, but a couple of weeks ago, I was 30% margin, 40% margin. I'm down now to about 10% to 15% margin. Doesn't mean I'm not still buying. I picked up shares of a couple companies that I think could do well. But the ones that I would play as an earnings play, Luke, that I think will destroy, I'm not going as hardcore on it. I mean, it's just, I'm not, yes, I've been selling Tesla since 864, just a little bit, not a ton. But I've sold, let's say I had 600 shares. I sold 100 shares, 120. I sold it between 880 to 824. I don't know what else I'll do. And I have a couple puts on Tesla. I wish I had more. Wish I had more as my hedge. You guys were here. I interviewed Meet Dave. Well, you have to go, Luke, right?
Well, I was just going to say, I said I wasn't buying the dip today, but I think I actually might with the stock. I was going to ask if you wanted the ticker or not. I know we got to get clip into.
Wait, what'd you say? You're buying what stock?
All right. Well, let's do it. This is not my idea. This idea came out of the boot camp this weekend.
Do you want to fight about it, this one, though?
Yeah, let's fight about it. All right.
Have you seen that before?
I've seen it. It's good.
Thank you.
I like it. All right, this one, it's from Chris Camillo, came out of our boot camp. If you guys missed our boot camp, you missed his pitch on the stock. But the stock is Leslie's, ticker LESL, Lima Echo Sandy Lima. Here's why this, oh my God, I just threw my pen. Here's why this stock is interesting, okay? This is a pool company. We are facing a winter tundra, a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-century event in Texas right now, in some of these southern states. Everybody in Texas owns a pool. Not everybody, but there's a lot of pools in Texas. They don't have winterizing, right? They don't have winter treatments. Pipes are bursting on these pools. This stock, Leslie's, is shipping a shit ton of materials to Texas to treat pools, to get pools winterized, to get them back and operational after the pipes are bursting and that sort of thing. Chris Camillo, who pitched this one, he lives in Texas. He's seeing it with his eyes. He said he's seeing Leslie's trucks every single day rolling around Texas, dropping off materials. They're sending people from across the country, pool technicians, into Texas to service them. Winter is typically a slower time for this company, and then they have this catalyst happens. So what we're waiting on is either the next earnings report. Hopefully we'll see a nice bump in numbers, a nice.
When is the next earnings report?
The next earnings report, it's a little bit ways away. Let me get the date for you. So next earnings report is going to be early May. So it is a little ways away, but the other potential catalyst is that I would expect, and keep in mind, I'm a financial news guy, right? If there's one thing I know, it's financial news. I would expect the company will give us some sort of an indication that hey, stuff's going well, rather than waiting a full 2.5 months. That they'll probably put out a press release that says, here's how we're helping Texas. And sort of the read between the lines in that press release is going to be, we're selling a ton of pool supplies to Texas. We're having a good quarter. So again, the on the dip today, I'm going to go ahead and add this stock, ticker LESL. I'm going to buy a little bit of stock, and I'm going to buy a little bit of options too.
So I just bought the May 20, or I put a limit order for the May 21 30 strike. Is that bad? Good? What do you think?
Well, you said we have to fight about it, so I'm gonna go with the lower strike than you are. So I'm zooming out here. Here's a 1-year chart. You know, if you're that 31 strike, it's near the all-time high in this name. It's $8 below that now, $7 below that now. I'm gonna go a little bit lower. Like I'd rather go somewhere around the $26, $27 strike. So hopefully it'll run to $31, and I've got that $4 in the middle there, so I can get some nice appreciation on my calls.
Got it. Now, you're going to buy a common as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a little bit of common too.
All right, I'm buying, Luke. You got me in. I'm buying. So they just reported.
Boom! That's what I do. Stock
and you know, I'm looking at Benzinga Pro right now, Luke, and they did report earnings recently, and then they hit February 11th, I think it was. They did a secondary.
Exactly, $26 a share. So we're through the secondary. We don't need to worry about it. You know, it's another bull factor for it. They're not going to need to raise more cash.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And the other thing, Luke, is another thing that you're not even thinking about for this play. This is why I didn't even say it, but I'll say it now. A lot of people wanted to put pools in their backyards during Corona. Now, everyone who wanted one did not get one because there was way more demand than supply. And because of those additional pools, it's more clients for Leslie. It's a lot more clients.
Okay.
I mean, I single-handedly know 12 people that were trying to get pools. 4 of them got it. Out of those 12, like 3 others are getting one right when it.
So what was the holdup on not getting a pool? Is it like the people who come and actually dig out the hole and fill it up and that sort of thing were just so busy?
Yeah, there was this way too much demand. Way too much demand. They didn't have enough people to come. There was not enough pool installers.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Burgeoning industry. Another bull factor for that one. Guys, if you guys like my Leslie's pitch in the chat, I said I was going to drop a new stock today. I dropped it. Let's go. Throw me the 1 in the chat. If you don't like the pitch, throw me the 2 and tell me why I'm wrong. That's what Zinger Nation is all about. We're going head to head on stuff. And just trying to make ourselves better traders.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's Leslie's is an interesting one. I like it, Luke, but you got a lower strike. So, you know, so you're maybe doing it better than I am.
You need to spend more money, but I could make less of a percentage. So that's the trade-off.
Yep, I didn't get my thing executed. All right, do you have to go? Because I need to answer some questions in the chat too. By the way,
I've got to hop. You've got Kirk up on deck joining us from Vivos. But I will leave the show in your very capable hands, Jason.
Wait, so who did you just interview?
I just did Mickey from Vissel.
I know, but then you had someone else after.
Oh, and then I had Robert Roy from Wealth Builders. It's been a jam-packed day.
Got it. Okay, so then now I got
Kirk is up on deck.
Well, I just got to I got to answer like 2. What were you going to say? Go.
I was going to say, and guys, we're trying something new instead of the all-day stream. We're hopping between videos today. We're breaking it up for you guys. You asked us to try it. We're trying it. We deliver for the people. 2:00 we're doing crypto. 2:30 biotech. I heard there's a new biotech stock pick, so that's interesting. And of course, Joel and Dennis back at 3:30. But all right, Jason, I'm gonna head out. Happy trading, guys.
I'm gonna save someone's life in a second.
Oh, that's awesome. That one-upped me. Seriously one-upped me.
I'm about to save someone's life. His name is, I can't even pronounce it, Habtalam Kania. I'm excited to save his life in a second. All right, Luke, you can get going. I'm going to do my thing, okay? I'm going to save his life. I'm going to save his life first. All right, Habtalam Kania, 2 things, man. This is what you got to know. If I don't want you to die over this. You said, do you still have NSPR, please? It's killing me. If something's ever killing like that, I just, there's a lot of the chat. Sometimes I don't see your questions. Do like the orange or the $5 or the $10 thing so we see your question. You shouldn't, if you're going to really be in that much pain over this, you really should just like do that so we see it. I didn't see your question before, so I apologize. But the NSPR, I don't want to like give bad news. I can show you my order executions. I bought it at 65 cents. I sold at $1.16. And then I sold the rest at $1.11. So to your question, to your answer, I am not in NSPR. I'm probably not. The chat challenge, Luke. We never looked at the chat challenge. Shoot. All right, you guys are right. That's a mistake. But Yeah, I'm not in it. And SPR is now down below $1. Why'd I get out of it? You know, when the market was going up a lot, I bought a lot of companies that I didn't necessarily know everything, you know. I didn't know everything, and I bought some that were stuff I didn't really have a huge intelligence on. So I have a circle of competence, and I bought some stuff that I didn't know as well. So that's why I sold. That was one I just didn't know as well. It could be good. Doesn't mean you should sell, but it was a nice win, and there you go. So sold it for like 50% gain. All right. So we have, bringing it on a 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Are we on 2 people? Okay. Hold on. I got to do my guest thing. Got to pull up my stuff. Hope you guys are having a good day. We got a good audience here. We got one more public company CEO coming on in literally 45 seconds. We're doing a little transition, getting Luke off here. And we're going to put the symbol in the chat so people know who we have on and what we have on, because I know sometimes you guys don't know the ticker, and I think that's really annoying. So we're on the same page on that one. So 1 second, we're bringing them on in a heartbeat. Hold on. All right, Kirk. Hey, Kirk, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jason.
Good. Hey, Ed, how are you? You're on mute. Ed, was I supposed to bring Ed on, or was that not?
Yeah, doing well. Nice to meet you.
So I'm supposed to bring both of you. Okay, I just want to make sure, because you're on mute. I just don't, want to make sure. So wait, where are you guys based out of?
So I'm in Denver, and Ed is in Phoenix.
Denver. Okay, and so Vivos, can you quickly just like give people, like the basic cliff notes on what you guys do?
Sure. So Vivos is a medical technology company. We just did our IPO in December. We're kind of a new public company here. The symbol is VVOS. We are bringing to market and commercializing the world's first potentially permanent solution for sleep apnea. There's 1 billion people on this planet with obstructive sleep apnea, and 80% of those people are undiagnosed. We have a huge market. We're focused in on North America, and we have a very, very novel and creative technology, and it's working for tens of thousands of people.
Got it. And how long has the company been around for?
5 years.
5 years. Have you been the CEO the whole time?
I have. I was a co-founder of the company.
Got it. So sleep apnea, that's a huge thing. I know there's sleep apnea studies done all the time, and people who have it, my mom, I know. And so this is a solution to help remedy it, or how does it work?
Yeah. So if you think about what sleep apnea is, it's the collapse of your airway when you lay back at night. So you lay down, you go to sleep, and all of a sudden your airway collapses and you have an apnea, which means you stop breathing. So what happens is that we know that for almost everyone that has this condition, it's a function of airway space, and airway space is a function of where your jaw and your tongue and everything is positioned. So what CPAP does which is the gold standard for the medical community, CPAP just blows air in there and opens up that airway. Well, our oral appliance that is worn, it's a mouthpiece. That oral appliance actually remodels the airway so that over a 12 to 24 month period, we regrow the airway. We actually give people a brand new airway. We reposition the tissues that comprise the airway, and by repositioning those tissues, we create a big new space for the air to flow, and it's less prone to collapse. So it's the first time that anyone has come to market with a solution that you can go into treatment and out of treatment in, say, 12 to 24 months. Average is about 18 months. You wear this overnight. You wear it at night when you sleep, in the evening hours before bed. And like, I'm a patient here today, and I don't have the appliance in my mouth. So during your work hours, you can work, but you wear it for a period of time. It's covered by insurance. I mean, it's just an amazing technology.
Yeah. And so is this like the Vivo system? It's part of the Vivo system?
Yeah, that's what it is. We call it a system, although we talk about an appliance because there's more that goes into it than just an appliance. It's not like, so this is not an over-the-counter thing. You actually have to go to a Vivos provider, and our website is vivoslife.com, VIVOS life.com. You can find providers Ed, what's the coverage we have now in America, in North America here? I think we're pretty much everywhere, right?
Almost every major city now in Canada and the United States, and in most major cities. And to Kirk's point, it really is an amazing technology. All the other solutions out there, the oral appliances, they're all therapeutic, palliative, temporary. And it's really amazing technology how it remodels the airway and provides a potential permanent solution to the problem.
Got it. And Ed, how long have you been with the company?
4 years now.
Okay. And so how did you find it?
Yeah, so I was introduced to the company as a consultant. When I learned about sleep apnea, it's the most prevalent disease in the world, and I learned about the technology, and doctors throughout the world learn about the VVOS system. We have VVOS providers in Asia, Australia, Africa, Europe, and they all use the VVOS system because it's so unique and so effective. And as I learned about the technology, I said, wow, this is going to be a big thing. And I joined the company permanently about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, and I have a lot of questions in the chat, guys. I will get to some of your questions, well, not all of them. I have a lot of questions, but a couple basic questions. So, what are the benefits of dentists and doctors using the VVOS system?
Well, so first of all, people are sometimes surprised that dentistry has a role to play in treating a medical condition, and yet if you think about it, the size and shape of the mouth is actually determines the size and shape of the airway, which sits right behind it and on top of it. So if for example, if someone has a high pitched, narrow dental arch in their palate, that impinges upon the space available in the nasal cavity. So one of the things our appliances do is remodel that and widen the upper and lower dental arches. As we get wider and we start to bring things forward, that space just opens up and the sleep apnea tends to just dissipate.
So then, like, if people at night have to wear retainers or Invisalign, is that not conducive at the same time, or does that have any effect?
It's probably not advisable for people to wear things sort of concurrently. Although a lot of people that have CPAPs, we actually treat them concurrently until we titrate them off of their CPAP. So a lot of patients who've been given that CPAP, they hate it. Nobody wants to wear a CPAP.
Yep. Tom Syracuse now just wrote, I've been on a CPAP machine for 20 years now. I feel it doesn't work as well anymore. I would be interested in trying something new.
Yeah. Go to our website.
What's the website?
Provider. Yeah. Vivoslife.com.
Okay. Vivoslife.com.
Yep.
Hey, why Vivos, by the way?
Vivos in Latin means the living. And we realized very early on that people with this condition at night, they're not really asleep, and in the daytime they're never really awake. They're never really alive. People that have sleep apnea live compromised lives. Sleep apnea is comorbid with dementia, Alzheimer's, diabetes, fibromyalgia, hypertension. All the major chronic conditions of modern men are affected by sleep apnea. So if we can address sleep apnea, we can affect the healthcare and the health and wellness of tens of millions of people. We think there's about 50 million, 54 million, wasn't it, Ed, in North America that have this condition. And we think our technology is effective in about 80% of those patients. And that's children, adults, all ethnicities. Ed, go ahead.
It's certainly more than 54 million. It's reported as many as half of the population. And to Kirk's point, when we talk about the CPAP machine and the caller that I identified over 20 years, it's not really doing anything. That's a palliative. It's a Band-Aid. And so we're one of the only treatments out there that affect and alter the root cause of it and create that open airway.
Got it.
Jason, for those investors or those traders online who might be looking at this right now, they should be aware of a company called Inspire Medical. Inspire is INSP. These guys have a technology. They've been given almost a $6 billion market cap. Their shares have traded up from $16 at their IPO to $215 today or thereabouts. And they have a technology that doesn't begin to do what ours does. And we have a very, very novel, very, very a broad spectrum of patients that we can treat with our technology. And I think it gives us a lot of upside in the valuation play for where we are today, valued. What are we at around 160 million maybe?
Yeah, it's about 160 million. When you look at the opportunity for the company, you can go door to door in this country and find someone who either has sleep apnea or they know someone who has sleep apnea. Here, we have a real resolution to the issue that addresses the root cause. We look at Inspire Medical and we look at their finite audience and their palliative therapy. I mean, there's really some benefits to looking at our stock.
And Jason, what we did, I don't want to interrupt, but what we did, this little device I'm showing here, if the guys can see, this is a finger ring device that actually is the latest technology. We just introduced this. We announced it last week. This is our Vivoscore technology we just brought to market. This is based upon a license with Sleep Image here in Colorado. This actually takes the place of that polysomnogram that used to go to a sleep lab. You'd have all kinds of sensors all over your body, chest straps, cannulas shoved up your nose. This new device will treat this sleep, or will actually diagnose this sleep apnea to a medical clinical grade condition. So it's been approved by FDA. We're putting these out there. Everybody in America ought to have these and be using this to monitor and measure their sleep apnea and be consulting with a physician or a dentist to be able to see what your treatment options are. But this is going to make a revolutionary impact on patients who think they might have sleep apnea or want to find out and have a very low cost test. We actually do the testing for free for the dentist, and they might charge a little bit of money, but it's actually a very, very revolutionary advance in the diagnostic side of things.
We're going to get to financials in a minute. A couple questions. Do you have a bunch of people on your sales team, reaching out to dentists and doctors? How do you build your distribution, or how many people are on that part of the team?
So the main use of proceeds from our IPO was to expand and extend the reach of our sales and marketing efforts. So our IPO proceeds are going directly into making the Vivos name a solid brand throughout all of dentistry, and then we'll take it to, and the medical community, then we'll take it to the general public.
Got it. Okay. And the next question is looking at Inspire Med. Yeah, it has almost a $6 billion market cap. But in 2020, I think it had around 100 million in revenue, and you guys are maybe 12 million in revenue right now, growing faster though. And and you're trading obviously a lot below that. How do the revenue numbers, or have they been in business a long time? Are you going to be able to displace them? Are they a direct competitor, or is your technology better? That's kind of the question I'm getting in the chat.
Yeah, that's a great. So think about this as a pie. And if I'm trying to get my hands in the screen there. So think about this as a pie, and on the pie, the number of people, the portion of that pie that Inspire can address is a very slim portion, because it's a surgical implant that goes into your chest with wires up to the back of your tongue and down to your diaphragm. So it's an invasive surgically placed technology that people are going to have to be pretty darn serious about doing something before they go there. Ours is a simple oral appliance, comes in and out of your mouth at night. It's covered by insurance for the most part, depending on your insurance policy, where you live, and you're in and out of treatment. So you're not doing something for life. You're not putting something in your chest. You're not wearing that CPAP mask for life. You're in and out of treatment, and it's not, there's no discomfort. There's no downside. It's easy if you're compliant. If you're not going to be compliant and wear it, you shouldn't do this. But if you're compliant, this thing, it's actually amazing. It just really remodels your tissues of your airway, gives you a big open airway, and when you're done with treatment, you're done.
Okay, and so for revenue and earnings, so for 2020, what did you guys do in revenue and earnings, and what do you forecast for 2021?
So we'll publish our 2020 earnings. We'll have an earnings call with an announcement next month. But we're up. I mean, we're going to show some nice growth. It's not the 3x growth that we showed in 2019 versus 2018, but 2020, we had, for 3 or 4 months, we had our entire market basically shut down. The dentists all closed their doors for a while. But we've bounced back, and we've got really strong bounce back with adoption rates very, very high. If you want to look at another comp, our financials in terms of gross margins, et cetera, are patterned after Align Technologies. A lot of people have followed Align for years. That it's been a great healthcare.
What about Smile Direct?
Smile Direct is a little bit of an offshoot of Align. Interestingly enough, since Smile Direct has been there, Align has their stock has gone through the roof. So it hasn't affected them from a competitive standpoint. But what I wanted to say is our financial model and relationship with our doctors is patterned after Align. So if you look at the margins, you look at the actual cost to the physician or the dentist, it's very, very similar. And the dentist, for example, buys their aligners from Align for between $1,600 and $2,000. They then turn around and get $6,000 to $7,000 for a case at retail.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah. Well, that's basically the model we have. We sell our appliances to our doctors for about that same amount of money, and then they turn around and they get $8,000 to $10,000 for a Vivos case. So it's actually
Does insurance cover any of it?
What's that?
Does insurance cover any of it?
And insurance will cover up to about 70%.
Wow.
And Kirk, if we look at the correlation between Vivos and Align Technologies, for the very same reason why people will have malocclusions or crooked teeth, it's because of underdeveloped dental arches,
Right.
the mandible and the maxilla. Well, for that very same reason, they may have an impinged airway. So if you look at Align Technologies and that $40+ billion valuation, and really the same issue is the causation of sleep apnea. And it's interesting, dentistry's role in 2017, the American Dental Association really made it a standard of care for dentists to screen and to watch out for sleep apnea because they can identify all the issues right there as they're working in the mouth.
Got it. So I have a question, and love to hear the answer like that. What's your challenge? Is it getting more people on your business development team to get in front of doctors? What's your challenge to grow it? Let's say, I know you said 30%, but what's your, or not 3x, but below that, what's your challenge to get it to be doing 100 million a year in revenue? What is the obstacle that you have to, overcome?
It's very simple, Jason. It's visibility, and that visibility is coming. We have right now, even as we speak, we're producing video where some of the leading physicians in the world are going on and collaborating with our dentists. One of the things that's happened in the past and even today is that dentistry is operated in a silo and medicine is operated in a silo, and they don't communicate. We're now bridging that gap and getting dentists and physicians talking about their patients and cross-referring and doing things to solve this problem. This is a huge problem for our entire healthcare system because every chronic condition of modern man is affected by sleep apnea. If we get when we get the dentists and the physicians on the same page, then the sky's the limit. This thing's going to explode because people will begin to realize what we really have here. We've treated we're over 18,000 patients have been successfully treated in this. But a lot of people don't know about our brand yet. So as soon as we get that visibility, it's game over.
Go ahead.
And Jason, and when our third-party adoption, we've taken steps as partnering with the National Football League Players Association. We've treated some of the great NFL players and addressed their sleep apnea issues. We've partnered with the largest manufacturers and dental suppliers in the country. And so it's that top-down market sort of penetration. We've done a great job, but this new collaboration with the medical community in the next few weeks, we'll have some of the top cardiologists and doctors talking about Vivos and the benefits. So It's really gaining momentum.
So you want the doctors to recommend it versus the patient coming in and asking for it is what you're looking
Either
for.
way, in a dental practice, what happens is the patients funnel through the hygiene program every 6 months, right? So now the hygienists are asking them about their sleep pattern, their sleep habits, their sleep concerns. Are you restful at night? How about your children? How about your husband? And they're giving them one of these to take home. You put this on your finger, it automatically starts up. The next morning, there's a full-on sleep report on the desk or on the computer screen of your dentist. It's so easy. It's so simple. And now every patient going through the dental practice where they have this training can get diagnosed and get into treatment.
Yeah, I was asking about the patient versus the practice because like I see like getting some celebrity endorsements like a Kevin O'Leary if he had sleep apnea and use this would be an easy,
Well, you know whose airway we treated. I can tell you now. I think that's okay. But Donny Osmond's airway, right before he retired from, he and Marie had that gig down there in Vegas, and right before he retired, we actually treated him and very successfully. So we've done a few celebrities, and yeah, we have some pretty big names.
Before I get to, I have two more questions before this one. Someone just wrote in. I thought it's a good question. How can you make this more affordable? 10K is high. Maybe you don't want to make it more affordable because the premium is like, or are you guys trying to get the cost down on it?
Well, look, the costs are actually set by the doctors. We don't set the cost. We set the price for what we charge the doctor. The doctor then takes it. We have some doctors that'll do it for $6,000 or $7,000, but for the most part, I'd say average nationwide is probably more like $8,000. In Manhattan, back in New York, I know they get about 12. So it just depends on where they're at.
And is this like patented or like the system you have? Could someone else go create the same thing or
no? We have patents. We have special materials we use to manufacture and fabricate these with. There's certain protocols. So I could give you the appliance, and if I don't teach you exactly how to wear it and exactly what to do and exactly how to do it, you're not going to get the result. So it's materials, it's design of the appliance. Every person gets a custom design based upon our proprietary knowledge of how to target. Some people have a blockage in their nasal cavity. Some of them it's behind their tongue. Some of them it's a little further down. We can target by the design of the appliance. We can target exactly where we want to affect the change.
Got it. Okay. Now, these are two questions from Aaron, the producer that you talked to. So he must know some stuff that I don't. Can you tell us more about your 510K Class 2 application to the FDA for your mRNA oral appliance? He said MM, but I think
it's actually mmRNA.
He's right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we actually have FDA clearances already. Our appliances are FDA registered and FDA cleared, and we have a couple of pending registrations or clearances with the FDA that we're waiting on to extend the things that we can say about these appliances. Our doctors can say more than we can say right now as a manufacturer because of the FDA restrictions. But we have the new mmRNA is progressing all the way through the process at FDA. We're very hopeful about the way that that's progressing. We should know something here very shortly.
And how is that is that very impactful if that gets
well, here's the mmRNA is a modified version of our FDA cleared mRNA. All right. So the mmRNA, the extra M is just modified. We modified it so that we would comply with the requirements of Medicare. So once we get the mmRNA cleared, we'll have Medicare clearance, right after that. And that's, another.
It opens us up to about 44 million patients covered by Medicare.
Right.
So it's significant.
That aren't covered right now. By the way, the Zinger Nation community here has great questions. I have to throw one more in. What is the price point compared to the CPAP system?
Well, a CPAP, both of these are going to be covered by insurance to some degree. The problem with CPAP is you're going to have to wear that every night for life. So you have to account for the cost over a lifetime. You've got all of those things on TV that you want to, you have to clean all the masks. You have to clean the pipes. You have to clean the hoses. You have to do all that stuff so you don't get pneumonia. And so there's ongoing cost. You have to replace it every few years. And eventually the CPAP will wear out because they can only crank up the pressure so high. So the issue is a lifetime of treatment and hassle. Every time you go on vacation, every time you travel, every time you do anything, you got to haul that thing around, or 12 to 18 months of treatment and boom, you're done.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, psychologically, it's a big issue. I mean, you're putting a leaf blower on your face, and if you're 44 years old, that could be for the next 40 years.
So even if it's cheaper, the point is you have to wear it for the rest of your life, and that's
CPAP. The cost of CPAP up front is cheap.
Yeah.
But you have to decide. do I really want to do this the rest of my life, or do I want to bite the bullet, get treated, get it done, and live the rest of my life with a big open airway that I can breathe through?
Now, what if you get it done and then like a year later it comes back? Can that happen?
You know, people ask that all the time. We don't have patients coming back for retreatment. So we've looked at patients at about the 5-year mark post treatment. There doesn't seem to be any relapse. So we feel really good about that.
And to that point, I mean, our device creates an environment where your body is depositing new bone and soft tissue. And so that's what affects the remodeling. We're not moving around teeth, because a lot of people will liken it to, say, braces or, you know, straightening your teeth. You're actually putting new bone and soft tissue. We like to use an analogy. If you break your arm and your body puts new bone and soft tissue, you never hear of someone getting a cast every year. It's that time of the year for, you know, to fix their bones. So it's essentially creating that permanent foundation.
Okay, and then one more question from Aaron, and then we'll conclude. But are there any other FDA approvals or submissions we can expect? That was a question Aaron asked.
Yes, but there's none that are required for us to fully realize the commercial value of our product. That's a very important point. We're going to continue to push the envelope with FDA until they'll let us say everything that we ought to be able to say about this and that we want to say about it. But there's not any FDA clearances that we need in order to fully realize the commercial value of our product.
And it should be noted, we've treated over 18,000 patients to date.
Yeah.
No, it seems like an amazing company, and what you guys do, it seems like amazing. And that's why I said, what are your challenges? Because if it's a doctor's awareness and all that, there's a million different ways to go after them. And so I think about, that's why I said that Kevin O'Leary or, you know, whatever. But yeah.
Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks.
I remember him.
Kevin Harrington's an investor here.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah, he's a big investor. He's a big proponent of this. He's a user of our product.
Oh, really? How'd you meet him? Just in whatever?
One of our guys here that works for us here is friends with Kevin and made the introduction. Kevin said, "Oh my gosh, I love this company." He made an investment. He actually speaks for us a little bit, but he's also a patient.
Yep. Yeah. The other Kevin O'Leary, I'm good friends with him. That's why I feel like a lot of people. And wait, and then you did say something earlier, and I don't think you meant it. You said like this is a problem for like mankind or men, whatever. Something you said. Sleep apnea does not just affect men, right? It affects men.
No. It's all genders. It's all
exactly.
It's all ages. People don't realize how big a problem this is for children.
Wow, because like, you said men, and so someone at one point you were using a bigger. My mom had it, so I know.
No, it's men and women. It's everybody, and it's not just fat people. This affects thin people, people of all different ethnicities and sizes and BMIs, etc.
Okay, and then Somnomed, is that a different company?
Somnomed, yeah.
What's
Somnomed
that?
basically, look, there's other dental appliances. What Somnomed and every other dental appliance out there, what they do is they artificially, mechanically hold your lower jaw forward. They just stick it out like that, and they mechanically reposition your jaw to open your airway. When you take it out, when you take the appliance out, your jaw goes back. What ours does is remodel the tissues so that eventually, you don't have to wear the appliance anymore. With Somnomed, you got to wear it every night for life, just like your CPAP.
So it's more similar to CPAP.
Important to identify. A lot of the listeners will say, "Oh, it's another oral appliance. My dentist tried to sell me something similar." Again, to Kirk's point, you're going to have to wear that the rest of your life. And a lot of those devices cause additional problems with the temporal mandibular joint, causing that additional pressure. So it's apples to oranges. It's entirely different.
Got it. So that's okay. I'm glad I asked that question, because people were mentioning it in the chat saying, "Oh, it's the same as this." And
no, it's not. It's totally different. We're the only people in the world with this technology, guys. Nobody else does this.
Wait, and there was a more amazing question I just have to ask. It's a good. Come on. Let's go. I gotta find. It was from the chat. What is So are you guys profitable?
No. We're still early stage. We're gonna be losing money this year, but we have a path to profitability that's much shorter. We charge these dentists $50,000 a piece to become a Vivos provider. That's how much continuing education we give these guys to make sure that they do this right, that they do it well, that they know exactly what they're doing, that they can interface with the medical community without sort of taking a back seat. We give them a huge amount of information and technology to make this happen and to do it the right way. So because we take that money in up front, our pathway to profitability is much shorter than a lot of companies coming out like us, because we actually get a tranche of cash from every new enrollee.
But
And to that point, to Jason, when we look at sort of the evolution of the rollout strategy of the Vivo system and marketing to dentists, really started 24 months ago. And again, now we're in every major city, and there's over 160,000 general dentists in North America. So we're just at the beginning stage of our growth opportunity, which I think makes it just a phenomenal look from an investment portfolio.
No, it's a phenomenal story. I mean, I'm so glad you guys come in. It's a phenomenal story that people aren't as familiar with. I mean, like hearing this company and the knowledge that you guys have to be able to answer every question, and not, like just you're answering about the competitors and you're giving the whole marketplace. We know we know the space. The one thing I have is the $50,000 for the dentist to pay. Wouldn't that limit your market? Like if I'm a dentist, I don't want to pay you $50,000 until I know I have enough demand. Is it something that like I pay over like a 4-year thing? I don't have to commit that I'm going to pay the $50,000.
Yeah, they finance it. It's a payment. It's a $1,000 a month payment.
As long as they're using the stuff. Okay.
And Jason, to that point, you have to understand the average dentist who's sitting on 2,000 to 3,000 patients. They're sitting on a book of business of $3 to $5 million. Probably statistically, almost half of their patients may have some degree of OSA. So they're excited. The ADA has sort of made it a standard of care, and that creates a new business opportunity for the dentists.
Well, guys, can't you tell that I have like just such amazing teeth that I have like 2 dentists in my family? I'm joking. I have like 3 root canals, 15 cavities, but I do have 2 dentists in the family. So I'll mention this stuff to them, because one of them has a practice of like everyone in town goes to it. So no, it's a very interesting company. Sorry guys, I didn't get to all your questions. They wanted to know, does the doctor fit the person when they come in? Does the doctor like fit their mouth with this thing or what have you? Or is it?
Yeah, there's a process. There's an evaluation, an exam process that the doctors go through that's quite extensive. There's different radiographs that are taken. There's something called a cone beam thing that shows the doctor your airway. So we can show before and after airways, and it's just really it's just really comprehensive. But that all happens at the dental office.
All right. No, this is great, guys. Vivos. I want you guys to come back on again and update us. The symbol's VVOS. I like this company. I mean, it's one of these things that you went public. You have real technology that solves problems. Now it's getting the word out, and it's a marketing game. In some respect,
it's execution and marketing, baby. That's what it is. You're right.
That's what we have to do at Benzinga as well. Same thing. We have about 110 people that work here, and for when we build new products, it's execution and marketing. You could build the best tool in the world, but if no one knows about it, doesn't matter, right?
Well, I've built big companies in the dental space before, private equity backed, etc. I ran a company for Morgan Stanley. This is not our first rodeo. Ed and I have done this before. We know how to do this. And we got a great team here, and we're mission driven.
So if I'm getting in now into Vivos, am I getting in at an undervalued time, and it should be a good investment for me for the next few years, arguably?
Yeah, our peer group trades at a trailing 12-month multiple, anywhere from 40 to 60, depending on the company. We're just a shade over 10. So I mean, there's all sorts of ways to evaluate an investment opportunity.
Yes.
Pervasive diseases in the world. And here we have our product. So,
and I love good time to jump into, by the way. I just, I hear it was good. Yeah. If I see him, I'm doing the interview. I'm not supposed to like buy like a thing a day, whatever, but I like the company. I want you guys to come on, and good luck on the growth. I'm going to mention something to my sister. And hey guys, if you didn't get your question answered and you want to know if you can be a potential customer, just email them. Go to their website, Vivo. What's the symbol?
Vivos Life, VIVOS life.com.
Yep. I mean, there was probably like 30 questions I didn't get to, and I mean, I'm assuming they can go to your site and hit contact us, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have a help desk here that's taking calls all the time. No problem.
Our investor deck can be downloaded on the website. It's a phenomenal deck, gives you all the information, and we welcome everyone to learn more.
Okay. Yeah. Someone said Mark, even no idea how it works. Okay. But so if someone's looking at your site, David Dwyer, is there a video on how this stuff on how it works on your website?
There are several videos in the investor relations news and media section. They can learn a lot about it.
David, you can learn it over there. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming back, Kirk and Ed. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Bye.
Yep. Bye. All right. So that was Kirk and Ed from Vivos. Very interesting, very cool company. I wasn't familiar with it. This whole sleep apnea industry is huge. Tons of people with sleep apnea. And I want to see what my mom did to get it solved back in the day. But I'm definitely interested in this one. When I'm interviewing someone, if I don't own shares, I don't buy the shares while I'm doing an interview or something like that. If I don't own the shares, so like that's what you guys are asking. Am I buying right now? It wasn't that I wasn't, but like I like the company. I think there's tremendous potential here. So and if I'm going to buy shares, I don't know if you guys know this. I buy shares typically in 3 increments. I buy I do a third. That's typically what I do, unless it was like Upwork or Slack and a few others that I was really passionate about. Tesla, I was too dumb because I bought it really early, like at $18, and I didn't buy anymore way back when because I was just immature and young then. But I buy in 3 increments. So I like this company. The action I'm going to take is I'm going to talk to my sister-in-law, the dentist, about it, and I'm going to talk to my mom, who had sleep apnea, and then see what they could do. And like NCal, I don't know what you do for a living, but this is like a great thing in the chat right now. NCal says their website could be a little better. Put the before and after on the main page right now, shows ladies sleeping. And I saw that too. I saw that. And what I would say to you, NCal, is like, if you're a web designer, I would like do a mock-up of something. Hey, I can make your page better. And then send them like a small sample and then see if they'll hire you to make their page better. Okay, is Benzinga keeping track of the stocks from companies they have on these shows to see how much they run up after? It's a great idea, XII. They're one time making a page, benzinga.com/videos, and I didn't like the page because it just like was a repeat of the YouTube page. But yeah, we should have a page, guys, of all the CEOs we have on, of all the companies. And then if you want to go to benzinga.com/trade-ideas, that's again benzinga.com/trade-ideas, you could see our picks and trades. And just to update you guys, yes, I bought a few puts on Tesla the last few days, and I sold a lot of my margin the last few days. I could be wrong. Every time that I sold, it was a time to buy, but I just, that's the IGTV. I'm not sure about IGTV. Tiny Pie, you said we're on IGTV. That's cool then. And you guys said, could there be a BZTV? The answer is yes. So if you want to work in business development and call Roku and call Pluto and all those places to get us on those different channels and Sirius, we'll hire you. We'll give you a big fee per network we get you on. So that's a repeat of your YouTube page. That's on your survey. Is that safer and trusting? Yeah, I hear you, Brian, but I want to make the page more useful to you guys. I don't want to just repeat YouTube. I want you to get value on it. Okay, and then FUV ran after being on BZ, GMBL2, XII. A lot of stocks ran after being on our small cap conference. And do you guys know Thursday and Friday, I'm not gonna be here doing this normal thing. This Thursday and Friday, we have the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. We have about 800, 200 people registered, and we're basically having all the CEOs of every cannabis company on for Thursday and Friday. That's Thursday and Friday. It's our annual. It's an event we have every quarter or every 2 quarters. Let's talk Upwork. Loving the price action. Yes, David, I'm still in. I sold some when it went to close to I think 60, but I'm still in. I also sold some GAN, guys, the last 3 days. I sold GAN at 30. I sold it at 28, and I sold some at 25, 26 today. I really wanted to reduce my margin, and so therefore I sold GAN to reduce some of my margin. I mean, I sold a few other things too, guys, because I wanted to reduce, like NSPR, that guy asked, but I wanted to reduce my margin and not have to think about worrying about the market, falling another 1,000 points or something. I don't want it to worry. So I'm not saying for you guys to do that. I am not any better than anyone else at predicting the day-to-day macro movement. What I think I'm better than most is at finding individual companies that most people haven't found that are undervalued or overvalued. I think I'm really good at that. but I can't tell you tomorrow what this is going to be. You know, a long time ago, Rocket Mortgage went public, and people wanted my opinion. And I said, if you're buying it for a short-term trade, don't buy it for a short-term trade. I own it. So it's a long-term thing. It's not an account that I look at. I literally don't. And I can show you this account if you want to see it. I bought Google in the IPO. I never sold shares. I bought GoDaddy in the IPO. Loyalty 3, it was called. Loyalty 3. Loyalty 3D. Here, I'll even show you guys. I'll show it to you. Loyalty 3 was a startup that failed, but it got you pre-IPO shares. I like the one-day, all-day stream much better than it chopped up. Easier to follow, and you guys did great cutting them up into individual shows afterwards. James, I hear you. I don't know. They're trying different things. If we can get the deals on, like, you know, Roku and all that, it could clear a lot of things up. And if you guys know anyone that, you know, is product managers or web designers or wants to write about the markets, you know, Brent needs some help covering OTC stocks on the news desk. And you know, it's we're hiring, but when we're hiring, you got to be able to like write quick bullet points. We don't have much time on the interview process these days, and I apologize for that. It's not a good process. The way we hire is we say, okay, send us a sample of something. You send it, and then we'll probably put you in a trial for a week. That's how we're kind of hired right now. We're just kind of whatever, you know, slammed with that stuff. I think there's someone else coming on right now. I don't want to get none. Oh, and by the way, we're having the CEO of a new SPAC on Monday. The SPAC is it was Apex that became a SPAC, so we'll have that person on. Clayton, I can't look at those calls right now. I'm sorry. If you're a Benzinga Pro member, you could probably hit the chat with the news desk. So Benzinga Pro, if you're an elite member, I don't know. I don't even know if they have this available. I think they sold out of it, but if they didn't, it's like $350 a month. You can get real-time chat with a news desk personnel, but I think they may have sold out at that because they were trying to keep it limited to 100 people. So that way they can give people like, basically it's the Ritz-Carlton of like real-time access to people behind the news desk who can look stuff up for you. And I don't know if it's sold out, if we're opening up any more slots, but it's for like, I know that's not what you're looking for right now. The guy who's asking about those calls in Zynga, but there is a real-time thing that's for, it's like our Benzinga Pro Black VIP thing. But then again, you guys are all VIPs if you're a Benzinga Pro member. By the way, all-day platform is better, my 2 cents. Do a poll with a segmented portions, may tune in for certain times. Okay, so let's do a poll. Okay, NCal, can you, wait, what polls, is there polling software I could use right now here? There must be. Well, NCal, write the poll right now. Will you write it? And then write the poll, NCal, and then say press 1 for the all day or 2 for the different portions. Let's do that right now. Press 1 and NCal is going to do it, and I'll repaste. Then we want to get the answer. Okay. Oh shoot. The crypto show. The crypto show is coming up. I'm reading the shows here. I don't see what time it's at. What? It's live now. It's pinned at the top. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. The crypto show is live now from 2 to 2:30. It's pinned at the top of the thing. Okay. Okay. NCal didn't do it. So I'll ask. I thought NCal would do that. Do you prefer one full stream with the clips on YouTube end of day? Press 1 second. Press 1. Or do you prefer today with each show a different link? Okay. All right. I'm going to ask the survey since the guy didn't do it. Okay. Here we go. All right. Go check out the crypto show, guys. We have a crypto show on the other channel. I apologize. I didn't know it was from, I just got kicked out of this. Okay. I got to go back to this show. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I'm 91. How do I get back to that survey? I want to see the survey. I'm out of it. Hold on, guys. You still here? All right. Here we go. We're looking at the survey real quick, and then I'm going to close this show in 2 minutes. So let's see what they said. Okay. So right now we have, it's not It's not totally one way. Oh yeah, it is. It seems like a lot more ones. Well, tomorrow we may do multiple shows per segment. We could try that. But all right. If you want to share any feedback, let us know. Or if you want to share us any feedback and send us a short email, send an email to powerhour@benzinga.com. That's powerhour@benzinga.com. If you haven't checked out Benzinga Pro, please do. And most importantly, if you have an E-Trade account or considering opening an E-Trade account, go on E-Trade, hit the customer service things, say that, we're missing news on E-Trade. We need news. We need news. We want Benzinga on there. Then send a screenshot of that to powerhour@benzinga.com with your name and address. If you wish to opine, that's what Bill O'Reilly used to say, with your name and address and shirt size or jacket size, and we will send you swag. That just doesn't go just for E-Trade. If you use Yahoo Finance, say it. Any brokerage, any place you recommend us, we will send you guys stuff in return. Okay? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And Cal, feel free to do it again. You guys can do it as much as you want. Bobby, I use E-Trade a lot. So, yes, that's it, guys. And Aaron Bry will take care of you. So thank you so much for being a part of the community. Hope you guys have a great day and make it successful. There's going to be days that's weak, days that's long. Don't do anything like that you can't risk. Be careful. And let's get back to profitable green days. There's always opportunities somewhere in the market. Just understand that. Short or long, but there's always opportunities. So, yes, Jackson Bray, I loved your email to the Trader TV thing. That was awesome. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Tell your friends about us. Please come around and join us on the mission to democratize financial information. Check out Benzinga Pro and then be part of us. Tell us what we're doing wrong and what tools you need. We have a lot of developers. We have a great team. We're powered out of Detroit, Michigan. So the hustle and brains right here. We're trying to impact the outcome and not just impact and build a company. We're trying to impact a city and put Detroit, revival in sight. And so why just go to the big Reuters or what have you? Come to us. There's alpha to be made because not everyone's looking at us. There's alpha to be made. So anything you guys can do to help us, fight the good fight. Follow our Twitter, share it. We appreciate it. We're you. We don't make decisions without thinking about you guys. So we really, yep. Trader TV is great. Trader TV is great. No, there's always going to be a bunch of different great channels. There's not room just for one. There's room for probably 10. So, all right, guys, or maybe 100. I will talk to you later. Thank you. Much love. I love you. And if you ever need anything, you guys want to do a mental health show and talk about anxiety, we can do that. I like talking about that, but you guys got to head over to the crypto show. So I'll stop and I can tell you the history of Benzinga, how he started, but we want you here with us on our mission. We need business development people, the whole thing. So thank you guys. Check out the crypto show now. All the best. I'm going to close it in 1 second. Just going to make sure you guys get all your comments in. I don't want to miss anything because you guys are us. We're here with you. We're here with you. Like you guys are us. Joanna Nicholson, feel free to send your feedback to powerhour@benzinga.com. We listen to you guys. We listen to you. Now, please go check out the crypto show right now. It's awesome. A lot of volume in crypto right now. So please, internet enforcers, I would love for you to come to Detroit. I'll fly you out here. Help us improve our video. I know I razz you a lot and you razz me. It's all in good fun. I do appreciate you trying to improve us, and we could use a lot more of you. So really thank you, internet enforcers. All right. Except when that one day I was really mad when the award show kind of failed. I was really mad and wanted to freaking kill you that day, to be honest. When you made that joke, should I say something about the sound? And I'm like, nope, I'm blocking you from our site the day or the 5 minutes. Major. You remember that, internet enforcers. That was a bad day. Oh, Hyen Berglund just signed up for Benzinga Pro. Make sure, Hyen, to email VIP accounts at benzinga.com to walk you through it. Yeah, internet enforcer, that was the wrong day to F with me. But yeah, because it's like if I F'd with you after you got like an accident or something, you know what I mean? It was bad. We some of us worked really hard on that and some others didn't, and it was bad. So Hi, Ann. That's awesome. You joined Benzinga Pro. Feel free to email VIP accounts at benzinga.com. That's our VIP help desk, manned by Ryan Faluna and team. There's about 5 people. They can walk you through like helpful things, how you can just use Benzinga Pro news. You can, that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, email, great, and email Fidelity. Yes, hi, Ann. Love that. Thank you for emailing Fidelity. Oh yes, Oh, I have to do a lot better job to offend you. I don't like to offend anyone. You pissed me off that day. You got me mad. All right, I got to go work on Benzinga, and then go. Then when we had the big flag football championship game against the CEO of UWMC this weekend, the big flag football championship game against the CEO of United Shore Mortgage. If you guys are going to come in and watch, let me know. Maybe we'll get it live streamed as well. All right, appreciate it. Have a great day, and let's make some money. Love you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Maximus. Tell your friends. There's no click. No, there is a link for the crypto show. Look at the top. It's right there. You guys, it's right there. I'll put it in the chat right here. Okay. Go check it out. There you go. Hi, and you're into spas, like hot tubs. It's weird. Okay. I don't know what I don't think we have a hot tub show. But if we do, that's awesome. I don't think we do though. She probably meant SPAC shows. All right, guys, everyone head over to the crypto show. Have a great day. There's the link. Peace out. See you in the crypto room. Hi, Ann. Appreciate it. You feel free to shoot me an email too, or follow me on Twitter at Jason Raznick and DM me. Much appreciated.